the two Man United lads, I mean, look, let's face it, if you're questioning whether they're up to the standard and up to the level yet, then they are the worst possible January transfer signings. You could go with, at the start of a season, you can add them into your squad and they can be the garnishings on the side of your squad, the fringe players, and they might dip in and out and they might play a bit of the pizza games and then slowly work their way into the squad because they've got a full season. But in the January, when you need a high impact signing, and let's think about the high impact January signings we made in recent history, James Vaughan, David Perkins, Peter Clark, they're proper January transfers where they're proper players brought in to make a proper impact. I don't believe that Jackson kid is going to play a single minute, even though Drysdale's now out for a while. So maybe he's going to be forced to play. But the fact that he's not been in the squad at all, I mean, you don't bring young lads in midway through a season. People will say Ben Gibson did great. Ben Gibson joined us at the start of a season when everyone was on 0 points. We brought this Louis Jackson in when we're in a dogfight and we need someone who's ready, instantly ready. So they're poor signings. They're poor signings. They may turn out to be fantastic players, but if we're going to wait another 5 or 6 games for them to get a chance, then they're poor signings. You've got to bring someone in who's ready to make an impact. So yeah, I'm frustrated, and that does take us onto the Nige, and I didn't really want to go down the Nigel route because it's been killed. But we're all saying it. He should have gone long ago. I'm not going to stand and chant for him to go out because that's just not the fan I am. I've never been like that. I've never chanted for a single manager to leave. But I can see what's in front of me. The man isn't changing anything, isn't bringing anything, and his positivity, the one thing that he's good at, well, that's worn thin long ago. It's people suss that out. His players are sussing that out. It's quite clearly that someone like Sam Finley, he's sussed that out, and he'll be saying to his mates, to his teammates, look, is this the plan? Is this what's going on? So yeah, the team selections are a little bit scattergun, make it up as you go along. Like I say, I'm not suggesting that the 11 on the pitch were bad today. I think there was some fairly anonymous performances, and then there was some really, really strong performances. But on the bench, as soon as that Declan Drysdale injury happens, I'm sat there thinking, what on earth are we going to do? Because we're either going to bring Connor Wood into a back three, which is what we did do. And what I will say is Connor Wood actually did a good job there. He didn't get caught at any point, won some aerial battles, fair play. He's had a bad season. He did a good job there. But I wasn't sure if that's what we'd do. And the only other thing I was thinking is, well, do we go to a back four and bring Connor Wood in as a left back? But that would have meant Leo Connor would have had to been a centre back. Now, I love Leo Connor, and he had a great game, but he ain't a centre back in a two-man central defensive partnership.
Or you switch Norman across.
Well, yeah, and Norman for me has been an atrocity defensively. Today he had a good game, and he is finding a bit of form, but he's good going forward. That's his game, and wing back suits him. You can see that wing back, he's getting forward. Today he had his best game in a tram shirt, in my opinion. But yeah, I did think, do we bring Norman into the centre? But I really didn't want to do that because at that point Norman was one of the areas where we were getting some success. So I sat there thinking, what on earth are we going to do? So yeah, you do. You want to centre off on the bench, ready to go. 7 subs. I remember the days when you had 3 subs and one of them was a keeper. Now we're spoiled because you get 7 subs and you're allowed to use 5 of them. So you should be able to cover every position. A keeper, a centre half, centre mid, centre forward, a winger, and then you've got a spare. Whatever. But like you say, you don't need Norris, Dennis, and Saunders on the bench. It seems crazy, but I do think Niger's, he's run out of ideas. Long ago, I think he ran out of ideas. I think he's just riding, and Mr. Palios, who I've backed for years, is riding on the fact that by some sort of luck, we'll survive. Fortunately for them, I believe in a bit of luck, and I think that we're going to earn ourselves that little bit of luck, but that luck is going to come in the form of 2 teams being worse than us. And I'm accepting, I hold my hands up and accept that is a risky strategy, and one that is getting harder and harder to believe in because Morecambe have closed that gap massively. So yeah, the signings, the January was a disaster. We've brought players in who aren't ready. If we don't believe they're ready now with 15 games to go, then when are they going to be ready? And was there any point at all in bringing them in? Yeah, I'm kind of lost for words sometimes with some of the things that Nige does and says now. And for someone who wants to back the club, I want to be positive about them. He's making it very difficult for me. I'm not going to tiptoe around that. I'm not going to sit on your pod and say, sack him now. But what I'm going to say is everyone knows he should have gone a while back.